everybody, what's up? This is Unilateral Everything, episode 10. Just finishing up the week of getting back into things. Had those 2 weeks that took off, and now jumping back into the middle of the program and getting back into training. And it's been a little bit of an interesting week. Started grad school this week, working on an online program for a master's in teaching, so started that. Exciting, but there were some issues with that, caused a little bit of stress this week, mainly because they let me in the week before classes started, and then there were some issues that wouldn't let me register for classes up until the day after, or I guess technically the day before the drop ad period. So got a little stressed out there for a few days trying to get that settled. But yeah, overall not a terrible week. All the kids went back to school this week, so rocking and rolling on that, and back to school schedule, so only coaching 3 classes a day. My job's a little bit weird because I kind of do a mix of admin and coaching work. So if I have my 2 coaches, they come in during the day or to coach classes. I'm there during the day. That's when I train. That's when I get everything squared away for later for those classes. Then my coaching, and then classes will start. We have kids that are on individual programs, and we have kids that are in like a class setting. And so my job is to kind of pull out individuals from each thing and work with them on an individual basis and help them focus on specific things. Also talking to parents and training teams. So I have a couple softball teams that come in, and potentially a couple other teams will be going in there. So that's kind of adjusting to that new schedule is going to be a little bit different, because I was coaching 5 classes a day. Now it's not really any classes, it's just team trainings and other administrative work that I have to do. So I have that going on. So yeah, started back over. Surprised myself with the no hook grip, no foot movement snatches, that I was still able to do those fairly well after 2 weeks. Some of the weights have felt a little heavier. Today's session was definitely a little rough. Had a little bit of a low HRV reading this morning, so probably results of some dehydration and maybe a little bit of just general tiredness and slight fatigue. After dodgeball night, I think I threw out my shoulder last week, because now my right shoulder just seems to be bothering me. Right shoulder, right elbow. Probably shouldn't have played as hard as I did. If you go on Instagram, there's a kind of funny video of I pull off random moves to distract kids when I play dodgeball. Just that because it's fun. Maybe a little bit of showing off, a lot of showing off. I don't know, kids got to know who's boss, you know? So kid tried to copy one of those moves, so and failed pretty miserably. So it was a funny kind of clip there. But in the process of throwing a dodgeball probably 200 times in the span of 3 hours, yeah, arm starts to hurt a little bit. We played a lot of dodgeball that night, so still trying to recover from that. Shoulders are very fatigued right now, so I'm gonna have to figure out some recovery strategies for that. Other than that, that's really all that's going on. The program is, I mean, I covered a lot of this back at the first, I guess episode 8. If you go back to episode 8, that's when, or May 7, go back to 7. That'll be the, where the last episode was after this current week that I did. So if you want more info, go back, watch episode 7. I'll put the link in the show notes there. But yeah, it's not a whole lot to talk about. Everything kind of feels the same as it did back then. So we're gonna keep trucking, get into week 2 next week. May shift the schedule a little bit because it's Labor Day on Monday, so I may not be going into work just because I canceled classes with the kids to be able to get some other stuff done around the house and things like that. So that's what we got going on. I'll probably talk a little bit more about grad school, probably throw some snippets of what that is looking like and what that entails, and go a little bit more in depth on some of the stuff I'm learning with that. So that's what we got this week for episode 10. Tune in next week for episode 11, when I'll probably talk about something new, just because I don't have a whole lot to talk about right now. So until then, catch you guys on the flip side.